how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. We're here in Burlington, Vermont at Gardener Supply Company. They invited us to come over here and check out their place because there's so much more than what is seen in their catalog and on their website. And I really hope I do this tour video justice and I don't forget anything, because they really do have a fascinating history, and what their company stands for is really neat. So I just wanted to show you guys around. So not only is it garden center, which is, all around me, you can see all the plants, all the beautiful things, but this is actually where the catalog is created. This is where a lot of their research and development, like all of the design and development of a lot of their products, happens in-house. It's not farmed out to a third party. And there's also their call center is here. And the fascinating thing about their call center that I learned is that almost every single person up there is an actual gardener. So when you call Gardener Supply, you're not just getting some random person on the phone, somewhere far away. You're getting somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, which is so refreshing. So I just wanted to show you guys around. So this right here is the garden center part. This is the main entrance. As you can see, a bunch of beautiful flowers, a bunch of pottery, and everything is kept up so nice. They have this location here in Burlington. It's also known as the Intervale because it's in an area that's called the Intervale. But there's also another garden center location in Williston, which is really fairly close by, like 20 minutes away, and we're going to show you that one as well. And their manufacturing facility and distribution center are all within like short driving distance. So we were able to see all of it on this trip, which is so much fun. So you can see that there's beautiful marigolds and coleus here, and I knew you guys would just love to see all of the plants. But their stuff just looks so great. And when you move down this way, you get into more shrubs and perennials. And there's something I really like about how they organize their shrubs. Let me show you. So they organize their shrubs in a way I have never seen before. They do it by maturity size. So you can come into the garden center and say, okay, well, I have a spot that gets, I need a shrub that will stay under 3 feet. So you can come here and you can look at a section of plants that, like right here, these shrubs stay between 2 and 3 feet. You can see all the options that you have for that particular location. Or let's say you have, 5 to 6 feet. There's a section of 5 to 6 feet shrubs right there. So you can really quickly see what your options are. You don't have to go all over the place. And so I called my mom and I was sharing with her some of the, inspiration I got, and we all thought that this was a really great idea. And this right here is the area that probably resonated with me the most, that will probably stick with me for a long, long time. So right behind me here, this is the staff garden. So every staff member who wants to have a little garden can have one here at work. So every single bed is different. Let's go take a closer look. They look just so amazing, and some of them are really planted densely and they're really utilizing the space to the max. Other people have things more spread out. But you can see the difference, of different things that people want to grow and plant. And I think that is just such a neat thing. And even better is this area right here. This is called the company garden. So what this is an effort to give back to the community. So they started this area so any staff member could volunteer to come out here and work. And what they do is they plant up things, grow them on, harvest, and then they donate them to people in need. So I just think that is such a neat idea. I wish more companies did that, and I think that companies that do need more accolades, because that's an amazing thing to allot space, to allow time for it, and another way to give back to your community. So now I want to show you another area. It's actually called the Intervale. It's right to my right, and it's a huge acreage full of small farms, and it's not really technically part of Gardener Supply, but it was founded by the same man who founded Gardener Supply, and there's quite the history, and it's super interesting and inspiring. So let's go down the road a little bit. So this is the Intervale. This is the beginning of about 350 acres of farmable land down in this area right next to Gardener Supply Company. And like I said, it was founded by the same man who founded Gardener Supply Company when back in the 80s, his car was stolen and they found it down in this area, and it used to be a huge dumping ground. There were 350 cars, thousands of tires, refrigerators, and just garbage down in here. So when he came down here and found his car, he kind of realized the potential of the land, and then he spearheaded a massive cleanup. In 1987, they moved all of that junk out of here, which is an amazing effort, because he knew at one time that this area was successfully farmed by Native Americans. So he knew that underneath all of that garbage, there was something great. There was potential for something great anyway. So they got all the garbage moved off of it. And then what's amazing to me is to bring the fertility back to the land. they got with the city and they had all of the leaf and yard debris brought here. So they had it brought to an area. They started this huge compost kind of effort. They made tons of compost, added a ton to the land, and then they kind of hopscotched that pile, that compost pile, to different areas of this whole Intervale until the whole thing was back to its fertile self, like how it was years and years and years ago. And so now it hosts about 10 farms down in this area that are all kind of part of a community, the Intervale farms. And the thing about it that Will Rapp, who was the founder, he was a passionate man. And I really got the full effect of his passion when we got a tour from him. He actually personally gave us a tour through the Intervale, told us his history, and he was one of those men, and this is so inspiring to me, that really partnered with a younger generation to get their feet under them, to get them started farming, to get them back to the land in a very sustainable way. There's so many of us, including myself, who keep saying, how do we get a younger generation involved? How do we do it? He did it, like from garbage pile to working farms to one of the first CSAs in the country. So I think that is such a neat history, and we actually got to experience one of the CSA pickups on Monday this week, and it was almost like, I felt like I was in this utopia. It was just, there was kids everywhere playing, there was a fox bounding around in the field, and there were people out here like picking fresh flowers, picking their own berries. It just was like the most neat community feel ever, and just knowing the history and how much work and passion went behind it is amazing. So the way Gardener Supply is connected now is they actually do a twice-a-year donation to this effort. And they actually donate 8% of their total profits to nonprofits, which I think is really an amazing thing. So this area went from a dumping ground to a total destination spot. I mean, complete with biking, hiking, and ski trails all throughout the Intervale. And Gardener Supply, the garden center itself, is a destination spot. And what I find interesting is that their second location in Williston, which is only about 20 minutes away, is also a major destination spot. So I want to show you guys a little bit of that area. All right guys, we're at the Williston location now, and this garden center is absolutely beautiful. Coming from that realm with a background in garden centers, when you see something that's done really, really well, you just know how much work goes into it, and I can appreciate it so much. And this location, it just, the plants, everything, like every leaf looks amazing. There's no hard water on anything, everything's organized, and it's just beautiful. So we really just wanted to show you the front of the building. I mean, so welcoming. And then right to the left, right here, I have to show you something that's amazing. Aaron and I have been like studying this. They have one at this location and at the Burlington location, and it's all gravity. Like, you can build this thing and it stays upright just by gravity. And they actually did a workshop on it. So there's a specialist in the area who knows how to do this kind of thing. So they had people come in for a class, and they actually all built this together in the class and learned how to do it. And how awesome at the end of the class to have this beautiful structure out in your garden. And of course, right beyond it is a pond. So let's go through here. Look at this. It's such a well-maintained area. Beautiful spruce trees. There's peonies and pines, and beautiful water lilies are in bloom in the pond right now. If we swing around this way, I think you might be able to see some falls right over here. So this is the view right here. That is amazing. So now I want to take you guys through the front door because it's so welcoming, and it really just pulls you in and through. You can see the garden center, like the nursery portion, out toward the back. So right there's the cafe. Looks like they're getting ready. So let's go out to the plants. Okay, so right here to my left, perennials. Look how beautiful. It's so tidy. Like, this is the standard that we should all be looking at. So now I want to show you the conservatory. So the conservatory, when you enter from the back side here, it starts with a bunch of beautiful annuals, lots of beautiful color in here. And then we'll go through this doorway and you'll see a bunch of beautiful pottery. So if we head this direction, look at all of these. Like, lots of sizes. Look at this. Look how cute. There's another water feature, another nice place to eat where you're under glass, you're protected from any weather. Oh, there's some koi. Look, they've even got some koi in here. I think it's time for a drink. All right, let's run out to the patio. So that's a tour of the Gardener Supply location here in Williston, Vermont, and it's kind of the mini version because I mean, we could spend hours just going through and showing you every last thing that's here. There's so much to see, so much beauty, and so much inspiration. I just love it. We actually were able to visit a couple other places this past week. The first one was the manufacturing facility, and that was really neat to go see like a lot of the cedar raised beds, the planter boxes, the garden carts. A lot of them are manufactured and built right here in Vermont. And I thought that that was so neat. It's always fun to learn the process, like how things are formulated, how things are designed. A lot of those things are designed right in-house. Just like I said, at the Burlington location, a lot of the products are tested, designed, developed right there. And I think that that is so neat that they're utilizing people right here in their local area to get all of these wonderful products made. We also got to go visit the distribution center, which is also in Vermont. And it was neat to see how like organized they have to be, because you know, when you look through a Gardener Supply catalog, there are a ton of different things you can order, you know, a bunch of different diverse things. And so it was neat to see what kind of system they have in place to keep everything organized and to keep everything accurate. I would have that place in such a mess if it were me, but they have it just such a great system down. It was really neat to see that. And we saw pretty much, you know, a product from start to finish. We saw where things are designed and developed and made better and tweaked. And we saw kind of where that starts, how the process goes. We saw where it's being manufactured. Then we saw how it's distributed and how it makes it to your home. So I really want to give Gardener Supply a huge thank you for bringing us out here and touring us around, showing us a really great time, teaching us about what their company is and who they are and what their mission is. It's really inspiring to learn that they're not just there, you know, to sell a product. Like, they have tons of things just on their website, just information. You can go and learn so much about gardening just from their website, and they don't care if you go to their website and don't buy a thing, but you're learning. That's their goal. Their goal is to make you successful in the garden, and they're just more than happy to do that. And I just think that's so neat in a company. And Gardener Supply is a household name, even in Oregon. All the way across the country in Oregon, I've known about Gardener Supply for a long, long time. So to come out here and see it was really a huge treat to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting to learn a little bit more about the company and just see a little of the scenery here in Vermont. We will see you in the next one. Bye.